There have been many Paper Mario games. Some were good, some were bad. But what made the good ones good and the bad ones bad? This is how to make a Paper Mario game, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, any Paper Mario fan is at least familiar with the drama of the first two games being the only good ones, and all the rest not sticking to the formula. In this video, we will be discussing the good parts of the partners. The good will be split up into a couple parts because I have a lot to talk about. I hope. So the first thing a partner needs is a good introduction into the story. You can't have a chest with some weird creature with magical powers that is made of geometrical shapes to suddenly say you look like the guy from the prophecy and join you on your quest. Super Paper Mario. A couple of examples of how you could incorporate a partner is by showing the partner a couple of times, like small run-ins. Then you, in the end, make it so the character learns or knows you enough to become attached to you, thus becoming a partner. This occurs when Ms. Mouse appears in several different locations to introduce you to her, and then you get her while getting her the badge she wants. The next example is if you show some things that don't seem like anything of use, and the player is more or less confused because of it. Or you could have an obstacle seemingly impassable, which will also confuse the player. Then you find a partner that can use said things or pass that obstacle, and it all makes sense to the player. This happens in Super Paper Mario when there are these little rips in time, which are technically called sparkling rifts. Just as a little side note, I think they spent more time on making this name than they actually did making the gameplay.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now.
Anyways, you would pass one along the way to get some toilet paper for the pixel in the bathroom, and the player would probably try jumping on it, using items, and other things like that, but nothing would happen. Then later, when you get Fleep, he or she would then be able to try to Fleep the sparkling rift, and thus something is brought into the world like a door or a card. So right now, we have two examples for incorporating a partner to the story. Next, you want to be able to give that character a good story, because in Super Paper Mario, the pixels had absolutely no story whatsoever, which was not well received by the Paper Mario fan community. So the first example I came up with was for your character to have parent problems. Oh, my favorite. I chose this because I thought, hey, there was a newborn Yoshi that knew how to talk and a young Goomba whose father was fine leaving him with a guy he just met, so why not add more kids and realism? So there are two ways of going about this. First is for their parents to be controlling. Their parents want their child, your partner, to be something that they don't want to be. For example, you could have your character want to be a dancer, but was forced to be a chef just like their parents. This would be a great setup for a good story. Next is for the character to be overprotective. They don't want their child to be hurt in any way or have them get into too much danger. Apparently, Papa doesn't feel that way because he left his child with some stranger with a mustache. No suspicion over here. You know, that's a completely okay thing to do. Leave your child with a stranger to go on an adventure with? Yup, completely fine. But anyways, I don't have an example for this because I don't. So if you were expecting one, I guess that's on to the next way to give a character story. Alright, so another way to do this is if you were to present the player with a problem that is not an obstacle. This problem will affect the partner and is up to you to fix it. This problem can give a little insight into the story, if it is a personal or widespread, and it can also have a good way for introduction into the story. An example of a personal problem would be Twilight Town. Here, you get a partner called Vivian. She is neglected and bullied by her sisters, and when you comfort her, she joins you as a partner. By comforting her, you kind of solved her problem. This is the only one that I could remember, so if you happen to have a better example, please leave a comment. The third and final example is if you were to show a cutscene of your partner, and I already know that you know what the next example is. Yes, if you guessed Vivian, you are correct. She is the one partner you get a lot of cutscene information from, and when you finally meet her, it is a great surprise, and I thought it was very well done for it to come full circle like that. So you have a good introduction into the story, and you have a good individual story for your partner. It is time for the most fundamental yet easy thing that would probably come to anyone's mind: having your partner be original. What I mean by original is your partner needs to vary in a couple different fields. Field 1, looks. Your partner needs to look different from all the other partners in your game, and if you can, in all other games made by you or other developers. The second field is stats. The stats should reflect the passion or looks of your partner. For example, you wouldn't give an ice creature fireballs, and you wouldn't let a partner that likes dancing to not have any sort of dancing related moves. The third field is talking. It may seem pointless, but the way someone talks is a reflection of their personality and what they do. For example, Bobbery talks like a pirate. And that concludes this episode. So I'd like to thank you all for watching my video. It took me a good bit of time. Right now I'm recording in my closet, which is kind of weird. I'm not using a script right now, but I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. And you guys are just so great for watching this video. I spent a good bit writing the script, and I just leave comments on what you want me to do differently. So, yeah, bye.